So initially, I'd planned to start some dialogue on bright lights, right? Talking about the Fair Spring Tunic, history pack, what expansion slot means for that. But then I thought, everyone's probably doing that, right? So why don't we just take it easy this week? And everything that's going to come out on the channel is either going to be deck construction, right? Looking for some fun combos, or box openings. So with that said, right, we'll leave all the financial, the market talk, and some of the other talk to everyone else for now. And let's talk about the Professor, right? Because I don't think the video earlier today really did this deck justice, right? So Fluffy pointed out to me about Professor Teklo nice ability to make Evos cost one less for each opponent, which even in a one-to-one matchup is huge going into any of the Steel Soul or even the Sentry Gear, right? 2 becoming 1, it's okay. 4 becoming 3. Now that is a real big breakpoint, right? Because that means that technically you can get down to only playing, or pitching, I should say, 1 card to play any of the Steel Soul. Now, you don't get the instant effect like Teklo, but, right, paying 3 to play an Evo at instant speed to draw a card, again, works well on paper, but the big payoff for Teklo is not blue. Right, so running blue to get this payoff, right, one-to-one card, is not gonna work. So in most scenarios, you're pitching, maybe 2 cards, and then drawing 1 card, and then playing 1 card from your banish zone, hopefully, if you can get them into your banish zone. So again, I feel like there's way too many things going on for Teklo. Now, again, sorry, I should really preface this. Everything I'm talking about is to do with Singularity, right? I'm the combo guy. Right, I only care about combos, so I'm trying to get Singularity to work, and Teklo does not work, right? Well, I should say normal Teklo Professor Teklo yes. So, lore note, right? I'm curious where he sits in on this, right? Since Teklo is, designated for the people running the company, does he come after Teklo or is he Teklo father, uncle? Anyway, that's right. Singularity does not work in Teklo we'll just take another quick glance at this deck, because this was my first test run, right? So again, we're trying to run blue so that we can pitch into everything efficiently. We're still using Scrap Compactor, so most of the time we're alleviating the pitch 3, right? Because Scrap Compactor allows us to play at instant speed without paying, right? And we even get to pressure damage, and that is the huge thing. Any of these count as 3 resources in relation to Teklo ability. These do not have to hit, right, for it to work, and you still pressure damage as well. That is a lot more things going for it. In Classic Constructed, I can understand trying to run boost, but then once again, you get into the issue of if you boost Singularity, then you're not really going for Singularity anymore, are you? Should have been an Evo. Yeah, so altogether, way too costly to get this to work. Way too many concepts that you want to run for Singularity, right? You want to boost your Evos, you want to get them into your banish zone as quick as possible. It doesn't mesh well. So, yeah. Kudos to Fluffy, again, right, pointing out Teklo because this does make a huge difference. And again, the video earlier today did not do it justice. So let's just go through the deck properly, right? Basically, all we're trying to do is block. So great physical defense with this deck. So you block with your Evos, you get them into your graveyard, and then you scrap them, right? They get put into the banish zone. You can still play them off of Teklo right? But you get to pay 1 less resource, which is huge for the Steel Soul, right? Making this a 1-pitch play is huge. And you still get the instant speed because of Scrap Compactor, meaning you can still try and play 2 a turn, 1 at instant, and then 1 if you have some way to generate an action point, or go again, right? So Captain's Call off Scrap Compactor, done. Lead the charge off Scrap Compactor, done. Lead the charge off your Evos, done. Captain's Call has to be an attack action, so that's fine. But yeah, there is, a lot more feasible ways here because of that 1 less resource to make this work, because that second card can now go into something beneficial, and you don't have to worry about drawing the right colors, right? Because in most circumstances, you're either drawing blue, which is what we've tried to stack the deck towards to play them, or, again, you're pitching less cards. In fact, actually, I don't have any yellow except Scrap Compactor, right? So yeah, you're just drawing blue. Okay, and it's a huge, huge cost difference. Again, being able to pitch 1 card in play versus having to pitch at least 2, right? Because there is no way to get to 4 otherwise. And there is god-awful, just no way to get to 7 comfortably and not just let your opponent just completely run you over, right? At least in this, again, we're blocking, so you have 2s and 3s, right? You then equip them for your banish zone, then you have 2s and 3s, and now you also have the equipment in your banish zone to play. And also, as I keep trying to point out, Singularity, right? The only way to actually get this to be a finisher is if you have the full set of Steel Soul, mainly the chest and legs, right? But the arms and head, especially to draw into 5 cards, is really important to make sure that you can go into like a 2-turn OTK. Well, I guess it's not really an OTK at that point, it's a TTK, right? So the first turn, you get the resources off the Steel Soul, so that's 6, and the action points, you can swing twice, you do 12 damage, you deplete your opponent's hand, they can't really counter, right? So you have technically an advantage at that point, and then you go into your 5 cards, hopefully you draw into like War Machine, Terminator Tank, you can play 1 or 2 of them, they gain go again because of the Teklo Voss and the Mech Potent, right? They gain go again, and then you can go into swinging. So if you get 2 of them off, right? So you have 5 cards, play 2 of them, that's 9, 18, and then 1 more swing, right? So for 6, you've done 24, you've done 12, sorry, you pressured 12 previously, so that's 36 damage over 2 turns, right? In Blitz, that's pretty decent as a way to OTK. Anyway, why don't we draw 4? Because this was the big thing. My draws were awful in the games we did trial it on, right? So there we go. Golgarian Tome would have drawn into the Steel Soul, which is good, right? We could have then played it. This hand, also good, right? Again, if you're either trying to equip an Evo every turn or get into your graveyard. Once in your graveyard, you're looking for Scrap Compactor, which we are actually drawing pretty badly into, but there's one, right? Plus lead the charge. So we had tons of Evos to block with, so there should be at least one. So you don't want to play lead the charge, but you're probably arsenaling it, right? Or again, you're just playing Evos from hand, now that they cost 3, right? So a Steel Soul into a Steel Soul is fine. Blue into a Steel Soul is fine. 3 cards into a Steel Soul is fine. And you're just blocking and you're just being a turtle. Because that's all you can really do if you want to get Singularity off. Because the big thing is, I might have already binned it, didn't I? No, where is it? I binned it then. Is this changing every time? I think it is. Yeah. Because the big thing with Singularity, A, it costs 6, so you want to be in blue. B, it is 1 of, right? Nitro is 2 of, or 3 of in Classic Constructed. So you can still run boost, and you just have to play it a bit more safe after you get rid of 1. But if you want to go for Singularity, can't run boost, because then that's counter to the deck, right? It's what you want for Evos, but then it's counter to Singularity, and that just, it seems like a huge oversight to me. And it is sort of one thing that is kind of getting a little bit irksome to me from LSS, right? Any combo they put into the game is a combo they thought up. So in a lot of other TCGs, there's a rough idea, but there is still a lot of community discovery. But LSS are great at playtesting, right? As shown by how balanced they make the cards. Now, in that sense, I know obviously there are heroes with substantially stronger plays. What I mean by balance is card interactions are very proofread, if that makes sense, right? So, for instance, what comes to mind? A Data Doll, for instance, right? Has to be from the deck. If it was put into your banish zone from anywhere, that would be different. And then you'd have cards like, what was the one? Hyper Scrapper, right? The banish hyperdrivers, then recycle back into play. There's been a few other interactions where I've gone, this would be fun if it worked with this, but it doesn't, right? And again, that's fun. Competitive is great. LSS don't change a thing. I'm just someone who wants fun, wants to be able to discover, a fun combo that people didn't really think of. And there really is not much meat on the bone. And in terms of Singularity, again, if this was an Evo, if you could put this in your banish zone and then sit on it, that would have been fantastic. That would have made it playable, right? Because then you could run boost, you could do your normal mechanologist things. You could still, be able to pressure your opponent, actually do back and forth rather than trying to turtle. And then you can go into Singularity once you have the board stack. Or, as we kept going over, if Evos were you stack up a 4, right? Or you stack up 4 across different slots, then you're good to go as well. But it's not. You need to have unique pieces. So that is also hard, right? Because you have to find all the unique pieces. You have to find 1 of. Again, you really want Steel Soul to make Singularity function on its first round, right? If you don't have the chest, you don't have those resources, you just go off of Sentry, right? Then you've spent 1 turn to build up Singularity, and then you do nothing. And that puts you at the mercy of your opponent. You don't have the action points from the legs. You might have the resource, but you don't have the action points to actually swing with Teklo Vossen, right? So again, you're at the mercy of your opponent. You really need at least the chest and the legs to be able to then go and pressure your opponent, because you're paying 6 for Singularity, right? That's hard enough already, right? That's already the majority of your turn. You might be able to get off one of these cards. Well, no, you can't, because even at 4, right? You have to go head, draw 5, have all blues, 1 War Machine, 1 Singularity, right? That's just unthinkable. So yeah, if it was playable from the Vanish Zone, it would have been great, because you could run boost. If it counted less Evos or more Evos, technically, right? Just stacks of Evos, so at least 4 Evos, no matter whether or not they're on top or the bottom or the middle, that would have been great too. But here's where we're at. I can't fathom it working in Teklo Vossen because of that cost. Again, playing him just off of Evos and being defensive and just boosting and playing normally is fine. But it would be great to be able to utilize his specialization now, wouldn't it? So we'll have to settle on the Professor. Right? I think this deck is half decent. Again, in Arcane, right, you're screwed, which is to be expected. So Rune Blade is horrible, but you know, you can still try. Wizard is just, again, I hate Wizard and Blitz. It is awful. There should be more ways to interrupt instant or to react to instant, right? Ooh. But yeah, I think this deck is actually decent. So again, your big goal is to just block with your Evos, get them into your graveyard, compact them, play them instant speed, right? Try and combo 2 pieces, so using Lead the Charge or Captain's Call, get everything on board, get the Steel Soul on top, then go into Singularity, and then you're using Terminate Tank and War Machine as your big finisher. Again, the whole idea is turn 1, Singularity, you have the resources from the chest and the action points from the legs, so you swing twice, then you're looking for your Terminate Tank or War Machine. Again, hopefully they're already in the graveyard, so you can use your Arm effect to put them 5th from the top. You then stupidly draw into only one of them, because again, 5th from the top doesn't make sense, right? When, again, so in normal Teklo Vossen, you trigger this, you draw 5, okay? So that's 1 card, that's fine, right? Because it only triggers once. But now that it triggers twice, you're drawing 5 cards, meaning that it's not guaranteed. Right? This should almost have been, if that Evo is a hero, right? Instead, trigger twice and put it 4th from the top, right? Because 5th from the top is just, you can only access 1 card. Doesn't make sense. It would have been a good combo, because then you could guarantee the 2 cards you draw into. Too well balanced, right? I just want to be a mech. I just want to destroy people. We'll settle for this deck. Anyway, we'll leave it there. Again, we're just going to have a fun week, right? Open boxes, try to come up with some crazy combos. If you got any you want me to try to attempt, let me know, right? I'm given my excitement over Mech, despite not really liking Mech, right? I'm open to any class. You give me a class, I will try to get some jank card to work if you want me to. Anyway, I'll put the link in the description. Tweak it, refine it, try it out, try me what you think. We'll probably play more games with it. I'll probably cycle between this, Melody, and Cheyenne, I think, for my weekly Blitz games. Should be fun. Hope you enjoyed. See ya. Oh, and the Teklo Leveler sucks. Again, it is such a shitty weapon. You get this, and you might as well be using any of the other pistols, and you can just have an easier time. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. See ya.